It totally was monitoring sound. Can you hear me now? Oh my gosh. I'm crippled. Why can no one hear me in this cave? You hear me? You hear me now? Why am I so angry? I need to calm down. Okay, I'm just gonna take a chill pill. Breathe in, breathe out. That was an oddity. I did not. It was showing as. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm blah blah blah. Let's get on with this thing. Who here is familiar with the term allegory? Anybody? Anybody? Class? An allegory is a story, poem, or picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning, typically a moral or political one. And Plato had an allegory called the Allegory of the Cave. And in this allegory, there's a person seated against a wall, staring at the back of a cave, as people march behind this wall, holding up silhouettes with lights behind them so they would shine on the wall of the cave, creating images. And to this person who was born and lived back to the wall, staring at the back of the cave wall, these images were real as reality got. And he never knew if he were to just stand up and turn around, there'd be a much larger world there behind him. So that's what this space is. This is the allegory. The allegorical cave. And here, we're going to have a little fun with allegory on occasion. So there's a story from Ishmael, which I'll paraphrase. So you had the gods, and back in the time when the gods first became the gods, whenever that was. That's why it's an allegory, folks. The gods had to rule over all life, choosing who lived and who died. And one day the gods were having this discussion that it seemed so unfair that the tiger, or that the lion, should eat the antelope. And so they decided on that day to let the antelope get away, and the lion would go hungry. And one of the other gods argued, well, what about the... Oh, I'm sorry. Then the antelope came upon a blade of grass. And the gods would say, today the antelope won't be able to eat that blade of grass, and the blade of grass would survive. And in this way, the gods became to make all choices for life. But then, the lion would complain that it had to go hungry, and the antelope would complain. Did I say antelope? Does that even make sense? Or the deer, and it should be like a gazelle or something, right? A gazelle. Gazelle would complain because it had to go hungry. And the gods wondered, well, are we really making the best choices then? Everyone has to suffer in this case. Somebody has to suffer in this case. Are we really making the best choices? And, so they decided that they lacked the wisdom to make these choices. And they decided to go to the tree of knowledge and take down the forbidden fruit. And upon eating it, gain the wisdom they needed to rule all life. And so they did so. And then they returned and continued the same deciding when the lion should eat and when it should starve. But now they had the wisdom to make the right choice. So then one of the first humans was born. And the gods, looking upon the human, thought it was so much like them that they should give this human special favors. The human would never go hungry and would never feel want or sorrow. And in this way, the human continued on, and it prospered and multiplied. And the human thought to itself, I'm so good, I am so unique and special, that I will care only for myself and disregard all other life. For it is only I who needs to thrive and to survive, for I am most like the gods. The gods allowed this, but they said to the human, you know, that is fine, but you must obey the laws of nature, and you shall never eat from the tree of knowledge, for it is forbidden. Only we hold the power to determine the fate of all life. And the human thinking to itself, you know, I am most like the gods. I am most deserving, and I deserve this power. Went to the tree of knowledge and ate upon the fruit, thereby convincing themselves that all it thought was true, that it is the most special of all the animals and most deserving of life, and that it should, in fact, rule over the entire earth, determining life and death for all living things. And here we are, right? That's the human story. That's the gist of the story. In your pungeon. Do you have a pungeon like this? This is not, you know, there's no equipment here. This is more of a cave. It's a cave, Sassy. I don't know about these pungeons. Sounds kind of sexy. Needs deco. It's got shadows on the wall. See, Sassy? Shadows on the wall. Look. Look here. Let's see. Those are real. Those are real VBs. Yeah. The allegorical cave. I think I might have driven everyone away with my story, though. But here we are. So, you know, humans have decided, and this is basically the mythos. Like, if you were to track your story to this point, you know, why is society structured the way it is? It's, I think, in large part because of that single mythos. But not all societies are structured that way. Those that we think of that are on the outside, you know, these tribes, many of them were never given a mythos like that. Their mythos is that they live in this jungle and they are one with the jungle, and the jungle takes and the jungle gives, and there's life. And the more in tune you are to that, the more prosperous you'll be.